everybody, to Drunk with Buds, a show about trying new beers with some friends and having discussions you would normally have at a bar. As always, we get our beer information from the Untapped app. That's
UNTAPPD.
You can now follow the show on there at Drunk with Buds. And that banger of a theme song was brought to you by our good buddies from Lost Like Lions out of Buffalo, New York.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bruce the Beer Bandit. I'm being your host today. We got two tones. You heard those dulcet tones that came from North Carolina across our airways. And on my left, I got the scratchy and old man voice of Jason. Hey, Jason.
Old man. Wait a second. I'm not that much older than you.
Older is what he confessed to. So there we go. And everyone calls me old, so you are the older man. Okay, we got that. You know, speaking of things that are like contentious, because, you know, you could jump down my throat right when I said you were older. There's a beef going down in the Bandarian world. We had the Lost Like Lions, had that banger of a theme song, just like you said. And I just heard from our up-and-coming guest, the Surrender the Ghost from Columbus, Ohio, that they are starting a beef war with them. They're throwing down the gauntlet. They're saying they're going to make their own theme song for us, and it's going to be better. And they've gone to Twitter and Instagram, and they're shouting out and throwing beefs and making us make like images that show that ghosts versus lions and who would win. And I feel like I'm Will Ferrell saying that we're going to establish a beachhead and we're going to make a Celt like the valley. He said once they get the taste for lions, the ghosts will never turn back.
I feel like we're Princess Peach and Mario and Bowser are fighting for us right now.
Oh, wow. Okay. I can kind of see that. You're kind of Peach-like. So speaking of something that's not very peachy, because this color is not like what I would see a peach, let's get into this first beer. Everyone crack that baby open. We're going to drink some Contraband by Zool Beer Company. It's 6.3% ABV, no listed IBUs. There's been 349 people who have checked it in for an average score of 4.22 out of 5. Very high for an average score. Zool Beer Company is out of Knoxville, Tennessee. The style guy says, Tiki cocktail, inspired sour with strawberry, cucumber, orange, zest, and lime. It should taste strawberry, fruity, sour, sweet, and cucumber. We'll do a faux show, no show after we have some of this. Let's everyone get your first sips and tell us what you think.
My first thought is I really like this dark color. It's like a dark plum color to me. It smells fantastic.
It does smell fantastic. It is very creamier than I expected it to be.
It's much sweeter than I anticipated as well.
Yes. Well, so that's the misnomer with sours. Like, some of them are very sweet, some of them are actually sour, and some of them do a hit and then another hit. Like, they'll hit with some sour and then finish sweet.
It's kind of like a juice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm getting that very much. Almost like a less sugary melted popsicle, or like one of those fruit pops. You know, you can get that don't have the sugars. It's just frozen like fruit ice, you know, and just let it melt down. It's very smooth, creamy on the mouthfeel. It does have a little bit of that dark berry tart for just an instant before it fades into a super sweet, almost like a sweetened grape juice in a way.
It's got a nice aroma to it.
What about you guys? Anything else that I'm missing? That you're picking up?
No, like I was expecting it to be a little more tart in the jaws, but it's there like for half a second.
Right. Yeah, I get more sweetness than sour. I do taste the sour, but there's definitely more sweetness.
Definitely sweet beer.
So we're do the faux show, no show. Of course, say faux show if you taste the thing that they say it's in there, and say no show if it doesn't show up. Strawberry. I don't know. I don't taste it. I don't get no show. I can't say that I taste strawberry, so I'm going to say no show.
Oh, you don't taste strawberry? I totally taste strawberry.
Then say faux show.
Faux show.
Okay, he's got a faux show. That's good. This is everyone's own mouth. Don't.
Well, your opinion is wrong.
Oh, okay. Is it fruity? Faux show. There's a bunch of fruits mixed up in there. Oh,
absolutely.
This is more like a punch to me. You know, this fruit punch. Label it, boom, like that. Sour. Okay, I'm going to give it the littlest of faux shows because it's not a no show because it has that tart for a second and then it's gone.
Agree.
It's like a lowercase faux show.
Yeah, lowercase.
Like you whisper.
It's on the down low.
You whisper the lowercase.
Now this next one is a loud scream for me. This is a faux show sweet.
Faux show.
Oh yeah.
And then finally, cucumber. I was hoping to taste this refreshing cucumber. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
No show for
no
cucumber.
show.
Yeah, it's overpowered by the other flavors. No show.
And I thought it's odd. I don't pick the beers to the guests and things like that, so I thought it was odd that we were going to have another beer that would have cucumber in it. When you were on the show, you had the hotel water, which had cucumber in it. And I was like, wow, that's just happenstance, I guess. But no, we didn't get one because I don't taste it.
Yeah, like you were saying, Bruce, I was kind of hoping that there would be a little more cucumber, like a little more freshness to it. But like I said, I think all the other flavors in there overpower it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get the lime. I don't even get the zestiness. I'm looking for that effervescence of a cucumber or zest, and it's just overpowered by the sweet of the I guess the strawberry.
Okay, so I stopped drinking it for a second, and I'm thinking maybe at the tail end of this, I'm tasting a little cucumber.
Okay, so you changing your answer?
Very lowercase faux show.
Everyone seems to rank it high on Untapped, which is very nice, as we saw. But let's move into our first segment. We're going to get into pub talk. Welcome to Pub Talk, where we just sit around gabbing, drinking, and having fun with our friends, and we talk about some topics. First topic on the thing is, with Honer away, the sports can be played. So let's talk about the Super Bowl. This should be coming out a couple days after this, I believe, or maybe even just the day after. It's February
9th?
It's next Sunday.
9th, yeah.
Next Sunday. So this comes out Saturday. So let's talk about Super Bowl. It's the Chefs versus the Eagles. I make that joke because they had that old Snickers commercial where the guy's painting the end zone and he forgot to put the I in Chiefs and he goes, the Chefs.
Yeah, who's the chef?
You're not going anywhere for a while? Take a bite of your Snickers. So what do we think about the Super Bowl? Are we caring about the people who are in it?
I'm super excited for the halftime show and the commercials.
Oh, okay. Halftime show and commercials. Not how many times they flash to Taylor Swift up in the box.
Oh, this is probably the first time I won't be watching the Super Bowl for the actual game. I don't care for either of these teams.
I guess I don't dislike. I mean, I guess I dislike the Eagles more only because they're semi-rivalrous with my favorite team, but not like in like that way the Cowboys are rivalrous with us. It's just like, division rivalry instead of like just outright hatred.
I got no dog in this fight. I don't really care which team wins.
You're a huge Colts fan. So do you, when your team doesn't make it, do you still support your conference?
No.
I don't know. No, I don't think I do.
I hate.
In hockey, I do.
I'm a Colts fan.
So
I'm a Colts fan too. So
if the Blackhawks don't win, I want the Western Division to win, the Western Conference to win.
Okay.
Or if it's between two like a U.S. team is on the East and the Canadian teams from the West, I'm always for America and not a Canadian team. Let's shut them out of it. They haven't won in like 25 years. A Canadian team has not won the hockey Stanley Cup in 25 years. I'm good about shutting them out.
Okay.
That's the only exception to the rule.
I'm a Colts fan, so I hate the Titans, I hate the Texans, I hate the Jaguars. I wish they never win any games ever. And I hate the Chiefs.
You hate the Chiefs, okay?
I hate the Chiefs. Yeah, they're like the Patriots to me now. Mahomes. Well, I think Mahomes. I mean, he has never beaten the Colts in the regular season. Just so everyone knows, he's 0-2 against the Colts. He has beaten them once in the playoffs, and he's at more Super Bowls, but he hasn't beaten the Colts in the regular season. So we got that.
How about your boy? In the pro. What's the?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The games they play before the Super Bowl, like where all the Pro Bowl.
Oh, the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
The Pro Bowl. He fumbled on his relay. Your boy Jonathan Taylor. He blew the AFC on the relay this year.
I didn't watch it. I don't watch.
Nobody seems to watch those anymore, right?
No, not to say.
I don't really care about the Pro Bowl
because they do
it's
they do
a non-game.
Well, they do new things now. And aside from a game, they do like these like skills competitions, like hockey does.
Yeah.
So, like they have a team event and relays and stuff like that. And so they had all the fastest runners, and they had to run the full field and then hand it off to the next guy, and they're going back and forth. And on this one, your boy fumbled.
So you said it was like the Patriots. I don't quite see that yet. Now, if they get the three-peat, then maybe. But I don't think they're at the Patriots level just yet.
You just gotta be careful when you're throwing out that three-peat. You don't want Pat Riley to come after you. I learned the other day that he owns 2 different versions of how you write three-peat. He trademarked it. Pat Riley from the Heat and the Lakers.
Oh, really?
That's his term.
That's funny.
Okay, well, I didn't write it.
So he's getting a bunch of money from people when they put like shirts and put that shit on shirts and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't care who wins. I don't even know if I'll watch it, and not because of the teams. I'm less watched the Super Bowl every year since the last 5 years. Like I just don't care. And to me, isn't it the Eagles versus the Eagles? Because to me, I see the coach of the Chiefs was the coach of is Andy Reid's Super Bowl again. So I'm like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Definitely. I'm just gonna go out there and say that this is probably going to be one of the lower Super Bowl viewership. I'm just saying, even though they have the whole Taylor Swift effect, I still don't feel like a lot of people are going to watch it for football.
The Buffalo Bills had 2 first downs taken away from them.
Yeah,
he was across the line on both of them,
right.
And I don't know what review you were looking at where you couldn't decide that. Oh, I couldn't see the ball. 3/4 of his body was across the line. Where do you think the ball was?
That's your Chiefs effect there.
So do you? Let me get your stance on this. Do you think there's some sort of conspiracy?
No, I just think the pressure got the ref, and he didn't want to. Like he couldn't see the ball, and he was like, "Well, the ruling on the field was this, and I need like ironclad proof." And he couldn't see the ball, so he's just going to go. He could always say, "Well, I couldn't see the ball."
Yeah, and you can't.
Maybe he was holding the ball like between his knees. I don't know because I couldn't see.
Yeah, if you don't see the ball, you can't assume you know where the ball is.
So I don't think there was a conspiracy then that they would rather have the Chiefs. If there was, there would have been. I don't think they would have let it be as close as it was, like where it could have gone either way. There would have been more obvious things or something like that.
That's how they fool you, Bruce.
Well, do you believe in the conspiracy?
I think the Chiefs get a little more calls than any other teams. I do believe that part.
Now I've heard. I haven't done the math, but I've heard statistically that is not true. They get just as many good calls as bad as any other team.
I think he refers to like calls against like hitting Mahomes.
Okay, well maybe that a little bit. I don't know.
Like the Michael Jordan effect,
Right.
You breathe on him, you get a foul.
Yeah.
How dare you get close to his airness?
To that.
Yeah, don't touch it. Don't touch Michael Jordan.
Right. There's a little bit of that for any quarterback, but maybe a little bit more for him.
Maybe. Because they don't want to hurt their running quarterback. It seems like when all the running quarterbacks get slaughtered and then they're out, what happened to RG3? Oh, gone.
Yeah.
So let's move on for the Super Bowl. That sounds like maybe 2 or 3 or all 3 of us are probably not going to watch.
I'll watch. I just don't care. But for the record, do we want to pick winners?
Sure. I think the Eagles squeak one out on a barn burner, 34-31. And it'll be a touchdown that wins.
I think the Chiefs are going to take it. I'll call it by 4 points.
Yeah, I think the refs and the Chiefs are going to win this one. Probably 27-28 or something like that, 27-29 or something weird. But I want the Eagles to win, but I don't feel like that's going to happen.
Another big event that happened this weekend was the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis at the Colts field at Lucas Oil. A giant. Somebody mentioned the other day when they saw an image who's not a football fan and it's like, what, they play indoors? I'm like, yes, it's a dome. It's Indiana.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've never been to that stadium, it's a great stadium. I love it.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times. I do like it. It's a nice little stadium.
So we had 2 different Rumble events. We had the ladies Rumble and we had the men's Rumble, and then a couple regular matches. We had the heavyweight championship match with Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus Kevin Owens, and then a tag match with, I think it was the NXT Tag Championships. Did anyone watch it? Two Tones?
I did watch most of it off and on.
And then I know you're not much of a pro wrestler. Did you even know it was on?
I was aware of it. I did not watch it.
So there were some big returns. I will say, it's on the ladies' side. It wasn't as one of the big things about the Rumble is they pull people from like big returns that surprise returns, or people that you didn't even think that would come. Like even like occasionally they'll get like a movie or TV star to come in. It's just the whole idea is 2 people start in the ring, and then the next 28 people come out one at a time every minute and a half. And the only way to win is to throw the person off the top of the ropes, and then they both feet have to touch the ground. Not going through the ropes or under the ropes. You have to go over the ropes and then land on the ground.
Okay.
That's how you get eliminated. It doesn't matter how many times you got beat up and how bloody you are. If you that didn't happen to you, you're still in. And they come out every minute and a half. It doesn't matter. They don't fudge with that. There's no like, oh, we have a bid spot here. Let's delay the countdown. Mm-hmm. It just happens. And when they bring back people, like back in 2020, Edge came back after 9 years after neck fusion. Like no one knew he was coming out. It was a huge pop. Like it made people cry because they had no idea that was going to happen. So like there wasn't anything like that happened this time. So to me, that part of what I like about the Rumble was a little bit of letdown. There was a couple of pops and a really loud pop, but not like that where they had a big surprise.
The only one I saw that I can remember for the women was that Bella, whatever her first name is.
Yeah, one of the Bella twins came back, number 30. Yeah. There was a pretty big pop for Alexa Bliss. She's been out for 2 years for the ladies. And that was about it. On the ladies' side, there was just not a really big one. I think there was everyone thought Becky Lynch was coming back. She didn't. She's been gone for a while. Charlotte came back, which is Ric Flair's daughter. Decent. I think she might have been let down by her lack of like a huge pop for her return. She hasn't been around since she got married for like 2.5 years. So like,
you feel she was personally let down?
I bet she expected a bigger pop for her return, and she didn't get it, and she ended up winning the Rumble. But so she was probably happy about that. Sure. But I personally think, my opinion, I think she thought the pop wasn't as big as she thought she deserved to get. I mean, I actually believe she should have gotten a bigger pop than she did, because she's been gone. Yeah. I mean, she was a big star, still is a big star, but still, like, either they did a bad job of hiding that she could come back, and so it took some of the air out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just telling that the women's wrestling in WWE has so many people and so many stars that are younger and growing up that
they don't
oversaturated.
That oversaturated, so the love is spread out.
Sure.
Too much now.
There's no superstars on that.
It's lost in the mix because there's no anticipation for it.
Yeah.
But not like if like The Rock or any of those old school guys came back.
Yeah, and I was one of the believers that in the men's side that The Rock was a possibility. I mean, he is like one of the owners of the WWE because he's a part of the group that bought the WWE from the McMahons and stuff like that. And he considers himself on the camera. He's the final boss now because of this. Mm-hmm. So like everyone thought there was going to be some kind of contention where like at the end something was going to happen, and entry number 31 was
and he did wrestle a little bit last year, so I mean it wasn't outside the realm of possibilities.
But we had a return. John Cena kicked off his final farewell tour. This is his last year of wrestling. He's been out of it for the most part, but he's going to commit to wrestling for this year, and this is his last Rumble. He lasted till number 2. He was the second one left in the event, almost won it.
What number did he come out at?
I want to say it was like 23, I think.
Okay, so it's sort of late. I mean, if you're number 1 or number 2, you got 40 minutes or so.
Oh, think longer, my friend. Yeah. It's over an hour if you start. constant wrestling.
No matter what you think of wrestling, that's a physical feat right there. That is a lot of exercise.
Well, since they started moving these Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleManias into football and baseball stadiums, the ramp coming from the back to your ring is now like running 70 yards to get there. Okay. And it's not even a direct route because of the way they want seating on the grass, in the stadium thing. So like it comes out an angle to one side and then it cuts back. So you're like, it could be more direct and it's not. So they're running a lot longer. So John Cena made it second. I got lucky because main event, Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble and he was my blind pick. And I won $150. Thank you, Jay. Main event, Jay. I appreciate that money in my pocket.
My pick was John Cena. That was my blind pick.
Oh, I had two picks, and it was Roman Reigns, who's always up there, and then him. And I was like, I have a really fucking good shot of winning the money.
What was I think I had, was it Braun Breaker? I think he came out. I think it was like number 10 or number 6. That was my number. So that's when he came out.
He's Rick Steiner's son. Rick Steiner.
And then oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's one of the Steiner brothers. He's Rick Steiner's son.
Okay, nice.
So his uncle's Big Papa Pump.
Yep. So yeah, I had Braun Breaker and then I had John Cena. So when Cena came out, I thought I had a possibility of winning.
Another big pop.
So wait, hold on. Pause for a second. You picked John Cena without knowing he was coming out.
You bought how many picks you wanted to pull of 30. Okay. So there's only 30 slots. And so I had 2. And so my name was put in a hat twice. And then it was blindly draw. Okay, number 1 is whoever comes out number 1, that's your guy.
Oh, so you're picking a number, not a name.
Yeah.
Well,
gotcha.
We don't know who, because we have no idea who's coming out.
Right.
So the only way we can do it is by spot.
Okay.
So my name was drawn for the men's rumble was number 16 and number 20.
Okay.
And so whoever came out at those points.
Yeah, mine was like 10 or 6 and then 23. So whoever came out at 23 would have been my wrestler. And it just happened to be John Cena, which I thought I had a chance because I feel like the WWE loves John Cena. So
I could see that.
The biggest pop of the night, though, wasn't for a WWE wrestler. Well, an ex-WWE wrestler. He's the TNA World Champ. His name is Joe Hendry. He's from TNA. He used to be in the WWE. He was always a little mid-card guy. And then he went to TNA, and he was starting to develop this new gimmick. He changed everything about himself. He colored his hair like a blonde, and he worked with a musician and stuff and created his own theme song and theme music, and he went with a beat that's catchy and makes you go. And he did this weird gimmick where like he stands his back to you, and at a certain part he just turns around and he has this like shit-eating green on his face, and he worked with the gimmick because it's in the song. You say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And so now, like, anytime when someone's like roasting a bit or something like that and they say his name, the music cues, and there he comes. He said his name. I feel like they're not booking this right. I think booking in wrestling terms means like how they say the match is going to go, like the outcome and what's going to happen when and there. That's booking it. I want like an I Quit match between 2 people who have nothing to do with like Joe Hendry or anything like that. And I Quit match, you only lose when someone forces you to say in the microphone, I quit. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then someone's just getting beat up, and they go, you're going to say you're quit. You're going to say you're quit. And he puts the mic in, Joe Hendry. And then he comes out and saves the day because there's no broken rules in I Quit, man. You can do anything. Like, and then I Quit match, someone got a forklift and put a pallet on it and lowered it and squished the guy to the ground and said, say it. Like, you could do anything. Okay. And there's no rules. So, like, I feel like you got to play up this, like, saying his name more than just, like, in promos. Yeah. He does it in promos and stuff. Like, someone that is like, a couple weeks ago, you had that run-in with Joe Hendry. No! And you see the guy go, no, don't say it. And then, boom, it comes out. So that's great. You got to use that a little bit more. But he came out as soon as his music, it was a huge crowd. The whole crowd popped. And then the entire crowd was singing this very repetitive and easy to sing song, and it has like cues. I'm seeing, and they call him on the thing. Like he's been going viral since he's done that because people now will do the same thing in real life. I'm seeing people do like they work at a convenience store, so they get the film and camera, and they're just sitting there with their back to it, and then they turn around and then they cue up the music to the right time when they're all doing the Joe Henry part and doing and it's not like he's clapping like a normal person. It's this full body, like this kind of like stupid. Like, why would you clap that way? You know?
I have to Google this now.
Joe Henry. Yeah, I thought. There was a chance. I heard that there was a chance it was going to come because the WWE announced like a couple weeks before that they were doing a deal with TNA. It's a separate promotion. It's and they were going to have like an exchange of like they're going to do some stuff. Some WWEs go to TNA and some of TNA, and they'll do these kind of things. So like we knew they've been doing that for Royal Rumbles only. They'll like grab a women's wrestler or two from them to like pop it up a little bit and stuff like that. But never this big of like more than the Rumble. So everyone was like, well, Joe Henry's going to come back, right? Because he's huge right now. It only makes sense. So like everyone knew that he might show up. There were signs. People had signs for it like that, So and it still was that big of a pop. Unlike other surprise ones where like it wasn't deflated. It just reaccentuated to the people like, yes, It was great. Yeah, so you definitely should check it out.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's pretty good for Pub Talk. I do want to say that this is a great Groundhog's Day. My little tradition since the movie came out is I always watch Groundhog's Day on Groundhog's Day. I actually believe that they should some TV stations should do what they do for A Christmas Story, and on Groundhog's Day only play 24 hours of Groundhog's Day. I feel like it fits the movie better than A Christmas Story does.
Oh, absolutely. Great movie, by the way.
It'd be like a TBS station or whatever, TNT, whoever, just some random Hallmark station or something, just have it constantly playing all day.
And of course, it should start at 6 a.m., just like when he wakes up every time in the movie, the clock turns to 6 a.m.
I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
So let's find our final thoughts on Contraband from Zool Beer. Nothing to do with Zool, the bad demon from Ghostbusters, which is also a Bill Murray movie.
But that's spelled differently. I think that's with a Z.
Z-U-U-L.
Oh, I thought it was Z-U-E-L.
No, I think it's Z-U-U-L.
Okay.
But still. Go ahead, Jason. What's your final thoughts? And give your ranking from 0 to 5 by quarters.
By quarters. I'm going to go with a 3. It's a little... I'm not a huge fan of sweet stuff. I do like it occasionally, but this is just a little too much sweetness for me. It's not bad. I could see this drinking this once in a while, but it's got a little too much on the sweetness level. I'd like a little bit more sour, and it is missing the cucumber, except for tasting it a little bit at the tail end. So I'm going with a 3.
All right, 2 tones.
I like the can art. It's got that X-ray version of like a skull. If you look at it upside down,
I missed
that. You got the chin there.
Yeah, I kind of see it now.
Oh, I thought that was smoke. I see like a...
Yeah.
Okay, that's like a rib cage or something.
Yeah, it's a rib cage, and then you got the you
lumbar.
Can see the
I see the lumbar or whatever, yeah.
You can see the spine. You can see the chin and the skull at the bottom of it.
Skull.
Look under the D in Contraband, and then like look at it upside down. It's like a profile vision of the skull.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's the jawbone. Yeah. Got it.
But yeah, so I like the can art. I like that subtleness to it because, like Jason was saying, it's a little sweet. I could probably maybe 1 or 2. I don't think I could do 4 or 6 of these. I will give it a 4 though, because this was fantastic. I do wish there was a little bit more of the freshness of the cucumber, but that also, in my opinion, might be what's making it not as sour as it could be also. So maybe we're getting it and we just don't know that we're getting the cucumber. But yeah, it's a solid. The color's fantastic, smells fantastic, nice fruity sour. So
is that what you tell your ladies tonight? You're getting the cucumber?
You don't know you're getting it, but you're getting it.
You don't know you're getting it, but you're getting it. You're getting the cucumber tonight.
That little sensation right there. That's the cucumber.
or in your case, a gherkin.
In your case, a gherkin. I like the can art. I like it more now. So thanks for telling me that. I know strawberry is a part of it, but I don't get the strawberry. It's very fruity. It's like a punch. It reminds me of like jungle juice. Like throw a bunch of alcohol and fruits into a big thing and let it saturate, and you just get this fruit punch that's very alcoholic. I want more tartness. I'm just not getting it. Maybe they should have put a different dark fruit on top of the strawberry in there to get that. Maybe some raspberries or something to get a little bit tartar. I don't get any cucumber. There's nothing zesty about it. It is smooth. It is super sweet. I don't hate it though. It's a B. It's a B plus for me. I'm going to give it a 3.75. It's not great, but it's very good.
I don't see how you're not getting strawberry. I mean, what do you want? Like strawberry shortcake to punch you in the face or something? I mean, what?
Well, at least that would be tart now, wouldn't it? Huh. I'm not the only one. He didn't say anything about tasting strawberries.
I did not taste strawberries. I just taste fruit.
2 out of 3. Just like meatloaf.
No.
Ain't bad. So we're going to go into a little bit of a break here. No rapping from Honer. He's sleeping off something. But I do want to tell you, he's probably sleeping off his excellent night at one of our sponsors, Hop Station, right here in Mishawaka.
Looking for a cool craft beer bar? Hop Station Craft Bar has over 30 rotating taps and hundreds of bottles and cans to enjoy. They also do can purchases for carryout. Not a fan of beer? Well, you're in luck because they have a unique cocktail menu as well. So come enjoy the arcade games, dart boards, and the pool table. Oh, did we forget to mention the food? Whether you want street tacos or delicious pizza, you can't go wrong. With the outdoor patio, it won't be hard for you to find the perfect spot to relax. So head down to Hop Station, the #1 craft beer bar in Indiana. You'll find them on 318 Union Street, Mishawaka, Indiana.
Welcome back. We're here with...
Welcome back. I do have beer number 2.
Ooh.
Beer number 2, or cider number 2, as I would say here, is called The Wanderer by Odd Brothers Craft Cider. It's a 5.5% ABV cider. It's got 289 check-ins for an average score of 3.98. Odd Brothers Craft Cider is a cidery out of Homer, Michigan. Bruce, I'm not quite sure how far that is from the studio.
It's halfway between us and Detroit.
Okay, so it's a two hours or so from the studio. It's not too far. But Sal Guide says, our Wanderer blends locally sourced apples with a hint of tongue hang cinnamon, a perfect balance of sweet and tart. Style Guy says cinnamon, apple, crisp, refreshing, and rustic. So we'll go ahead and take our first drinks and talk about how we feel about this beer.
Well, first thing is, it smells like I think an apple cider in the fall should smell like. Like I'm apple picking or pumpkin patching, and I almost feel like I want to somehow go and warm this up in something, have it warm as well as cold, just to have it like a double taste test. So here's my first sips. You guys talk.
Yeah, you're not lying. It's definitely apple cider, like cinnamon. Yeah. Like it's definitely you could warm it up on a nice cold day and put a little cinnamon stick in there. It's super refreshing.
With the cinnamon, I could totally see this as a warm drink.
Yeah.
Although I would prefer it cold.
I'm loving it, really, actually. I know it has it. It's just dry enough that you want to keep sipping. It's slightly sweet, not overpowering.
The cinnamon's not overpowering either. It's there, but
it's just a nice comfort. I get the rustic. If we do faux show, no show, I would say faux show on rustic. This feels like grandma made a concoction. Like it's not mass produced.
Did your grandma make alcohol? Because mine didn't.
Maybe. I mean, I have a grandmother who's from Scotland. She might have made some whiskey.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's exactly what it says it is. It's apple cinnamon, and like when you add cinnamon to drinks, it's hard to not overdo it. And this is perfectly not overdone with the cinnamon. It's nice balance of apple and cinnamon. It's fantastic.
It's got a nice picture on the can of, I assume, Johnny Appleseed here.
I would assume that as well.
Yeah, he's your stereotypical, like I would say, hillbilly. Or he's got the boots and the overalls with no shirt under or on. He's
long
got
beard,
the long beard, the pot on his head like a hat.
Could it be that you don't know who Johnny Appleseed is, Two Tones? Because that's literally what he, like, the folklore is he traveled the Midwest just planting apple trees everywhere. And
I
had a big beard and he had all that shit on his head.
No, I was getting more details for the guests who aren't looking at the can or people who are listening that don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to paint an image.
And he's seeing the future because he's grabbing something that's floating in the air and glowing. That's a can of this cider. I have to say, Odd Brothers have not done us wrong on this show so far. I have never disliked anything they've had. We've had at least 3, maybe even 4 different ones. The Sunday Sour Cider was a 5-star banger from everyone who was on that show. This might be up there. We'll find out. But we got something coming up first. Tony, what we doing?
We have Top Shelf.
All right. I'm going to hit it. Top Shelf. Top Shelf. Reach on up high and get those premium bottles. It's time for Top Shelf.
Time for Top Shelf. All right. Top Shelf is a segment where we have 2 categories here. We'll do our top 3. We'll start at number 3. We'll go around the table. So our first topic here is activities to do in the snow. Bruce started off. What do you got at number 3?
Well, I'm going to reach back into my childhood a little bit and a little bit in fatherhood because I used to take my daughter on this activity. On the first time she ever went, she went down a hill on this apparatus, and it was at a school that had a big hill. And on her second to last down, she went down. The tube hit like a little of a groove and went towards the swing sets, and her face hit the pole, supporting the whole thing. She got up after I ran down this hill and almost killed myself and said, "Daddy, can I go down one more time before we go home and I cry?" And so I said, okay. And then I said, I think she's going to be a rugby player. It's called tubing. Going down a big hill on a big inner tube. Not sledding. Not that saying sledding is bad. It's different. Tubing. Going tubing.
That's awesome.
Number 3.
With real quick, with her being your daughter, I don't think I would expect anything less either of her. Like, let me do it one more time, and then I'll go home.
Yeah.
Let's continue. How about you, Jason? Number 3, top activities to do in the snow.
I'm going to say build some sort of snow fort.
Okay.
Just building the fort?
Yeah.
Not having the fight. Just building the fort.
That's number 2.
Okay. So you're building up to something.
Building up. Yeah. I have 2 kids of the age where they still like to play in the snow. And every year I help my daughter build some sort of giant mound of snow. And then we tunnel out a little area for her to crawl into.
So you do the mound situation. You're not like bricking it up?
No, I'm not that engineer. Building a giant mound and then kind of packing it in and then excavating it out. That's about my level. Okay.
Because I've learned when my job was like, just get all your beach paraphernalia and you can just pack the snow in there and just turn it over and then lift it up and you can make the little bricks.
Okay.
Not much more work, and it looks aesthetically pleasing.
I'll go ahead. I'll do number 3. Mine is the snowball fight. Like, just getting a good group of friends together. Everyone, you pick sides, and you're in the woods. You're in a field. You have all the protection. You build your walls, and you hide behind trees, and you just you go to town throwing snowballs at each other.
That's a pretty good one. Didn't make my top 3, but my top 2. This shows my age as second oldest on this podcast. I really liked, even as a kid, and it's strange as a kid for liking this, but as an adult, I liked it just as much because it's the company you keep. But like a horse-drawn carriage, like sled.
Okay.
A horse, pulling the sled behind and going through the woods and paths and stuff like that. You got cocoa and blankets, and you're by your girl, and you're seeing the snow and the rolling hills and the woods.
Are you living in the 60s in a musical or so? I've never seen this outside of a movie.
No, we have them around here. There's still companies that still do it.
I call BS. We do not have those.
We do. You got to go to Michigan though, so you're going back a little bit in time by crossing that border.
Okay.
It is Michigan. I mean, come on. But yes, I like the horse-drawn sled, ride, or even a hay ride when it's winter, just something, with the people you are, you usually got some kind of hot beverage with you, and you're cuddled up close to your girl or what have you, or you're just gloating your family and everyone's having a good time. That's my number 2 thing to do in the snow.
Nice. How about you, Jason? What's your number 2?
My number 2 is definitely the snowball fight. I'm more or less a competitive person. I'd like to say I show mercy to my kids, but I really don't.
They're not going to learn to be show mercy.
How will they learn?
There's 2 of them. They usually team up against me. That's 2-on-1. I don't hold back. I go full on snowball fight.
And you should not hold back. They will not learn life lessons if they win.
How will they pass it on to their children?
Yeah.
Two Jones.
Yeah, I was taking another drink of the cider. My number 2 is just building a good old fashioned snowman. Like I said, we got snow here about 2 weeks ago. He wasn't very big, but I have a little balcony, and I built maybe a 12-inch tall snowman. Just had him sit there. He was gone. He melted by the next day, but I don't know. It's just something about being able to pack the snow, and I feel like that is just super traditional winter activity. Just building a nice snowman.
It's nice, very nice. All right, my last one is drinking alcoholic beverages by a fire out in the snow. You got wood stumps that are just out there around a fire pit or on a deck that's just covered in snow, or I don't really care. It's just you're not outdoors looking at the snow. You're not indoors looking at the snow. You're out in it.
You're in it, yeah.
I didn't even consider activities that didn't involve the snow. I'd like to change my number 3.
You can do an honorable mention.
Okay, all right.
And my honorable dismention, though, is I hate shoveling snow, snowblowing snow. So that's in my dishonorable mention I'm going to give this time is shoveling.
Yeah, I feel like
any kind of movement of snow.
I feel like that's everyone's.
All right, so that was my number 1. Drinking, eating, around a fire pit in the snow, or it doesn't have to have a fire pit, but just like a group event on a deck with drinking, and it's outside, so you should have even if it's a trash can fire. I just like it's just good. It's just good all around.
All right. Yeah, my number 1 is sledding. To me, sledding and tubing are more or less the same. As I'm grouping them all together, but my kids love to go sledding. They ask every year to go. It's just a fun time.
Do you go to any particular places locally?
There's a few different places I go. The hospital near where both my kids were born has a hill right next to it, and some of the times we go there. We go to a few other places.
Do you go to the regulated places like like St. Pat's tubing or?
Yeah, we do there.
Mary
we've been
Frank.
there. No, I haven't been Mary Frank yet, but there's a few places.
Bendix Woods, I think, has one as well.
I don't think we've been there either.
And then Morris Park will open up their 10th tee goes like this.
Oh wow!
And it's very fun. People go. You can just park out there and you just go.
There's a park next to the most likely place we go is there's a hospital where my kids were born, and right next to the hospital there's a big hill, and we ended up going there. But they love going, and I want to mention my honorable mention because I didn't even consider things that didn't involve the snow. When you said things to do in the snow, I meant I was in my head. I was thinking literally in the snow. Honorable mention. I'm going to say this is actually my number 3, hot tub.
Okay.
Hot tub while it's snowing.
Yes.
While it's snowing is an experience that if you've never done this, you need to try this.
I considered it. I really did consider it. If I had to give an honorable mention, I'll come back to it because I just lost it because I'm second oldest man here, so our memory is kind of fuzzy on things. But hot tub. It almost made the list. Oh, a snow riddled football game with your boys.
Okay.
In the snow,
I can see that.
like a turkey bowl situation if it snowed.
That.
Yeah, those are fun. So that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the hot tub. That is probably one of the best things to do, but I did not have it, so I'm not going to say it. My number 1 is super basic and something probably a lot of guys in the Midwest do when they have trucks. I just like driving it. Like, let me put my truck in 4-wheel drive and just drive through it, just have fun sliding around in your vehicle in the snow. I've done it a few times in my car, and I've gotten stuck, but it creates memories, whether you get stuck or you don't get stuck. Just something about driving around in the snow and just sliding and donuts and all that stuff is just a great time. Topic number 2 is time loop / travel movies. So I'll go ahead and start this one off. I'll do my honorable mention first would be The Butterfly Effect.
Good movie.
Yeah.
I really like that movie, but my number 3 would be Hot Tub Time Machine.
It's a good one. It is a good one.
Classic,
you can't. You know what? I'm just gonna piggyback. That's my number 3. Hot Tub, not number 2, number 1, because it hits me right. If you haven't seen it, Jason, you need to, because it hits us in the fields, because they travel back to the late 80s, 90s.
Okay.
Right. So like all the music they're playing and stuff like that, the clothing they're wearing, and a ski resort, which all movies back then that, seemed that everyone skied when no one fucking skied. So it's well crafted. It's well crafted.
Yeah.
No one mentioned skiing in the snow.
That's right. No, because we come from an era where we watched other people do it.
Yeah,
that's enough.
All right, so mine and Bruce's number 3 are the same. How about you, Jason? What's your number 3?
I'm going to go with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah. It's a little dated now. You don't see phone booths anymore, so some of our younger listeners aren't going to really get the reference. But phone booths used to be a thing, and it's a movie that doesn't take itself seriously. It's a good watch.
It's very good.
Nice. All right. I'll start at my number 2. It's not a comedy. It's almost the opposite. We'll say Interstellar.
Okay. I mean, it's
like
time bending. I give you that.
Time loop, time travel, whatever.
Yep. I think it fits.
He went back in time to see his daughter.
My honorable mention is Looper. I don't want it not to be mentioned. I think it's a really good film, but in my list, I'm going for more of like a lighthearted fun, this time. So, but I wanted Looper to be on there. My number 2 is Palm Springs. It was a Hulu movie.
I have never seen that.
Andy Samberg goes into a cave when he's at a wedding. And because he went into the cave, he repeats the same wedding day over and over and over again. And then he accidentally brings in 2 other people, and they're stuck. And one guy is fucking pissed at him and tries and hunts him randomly as punishment because he's stuck now too, because he can't get out of it. Mm-hmm. It's just hilarious. You can watch it on Hulu or Disney Plus because they're the same company now. So it's called Palm Springs. It's worth watching.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if this counts as a time travel movie. It has time travel in it, but it's not really a time travel movie. But I'm going with Terminator 2.
It's got time travel.
It's got time travel.
Yeah.
It's not really a time travel movie, but it's not to say anything negative about the original Terminator. It's a great movie, but Terminator 2 I think was better. Mm-hmm. And so that's my number 2.
Any honorable mention?
I'm going to go Back to Future.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that almost made my list. Not quite. If we were picking more than 3, definitely would have been on the list.
Yeah, Back to the Future was a good one. But my number 1 is Bruce's honorable mention, Looper. I really so it would have got mentioned, Bruce. It would have got mentioned. Okay. I do like Looper. I like the concept of the movie and just having to go back and take care of yourself when your job is done. But Looper is my number 1.
Now, my number 1 was really close, and it's kind of weird that the one that I decided not to do it fell from a possible number 1 to off the list completely. I almost went with Happy Death Day. I think it's a really good twist on time travel or a time loop, but also it's a horror movie this girl keeps getting killed and she wakes up and she has to figure out who's killing her and she keeps getting it wrong. And that didn't make it because I'm an Evil Dead guy. So Army of Darkness goes back in time and at the end of the movie goes back to the present. I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I could not mention it. So Ash versus the Army of Darkness is my number 1.
I'm going with the Edge of Tomorrow, which also has a.
Or is it Live, Die, Repeat?
That's what I was about to say. It opened in different countries under different names. Live, Die, Repeat was one, but Edge of Tomorrow. I love the movie.
I hear they're bringing it back.
That's been a rumor for years. I'm starting to doubt that rumor. I've heard that for at least 3 or 4 years now that they're going to do a sequel. I'm starting to doubt that there ever will be a sequel.
Or is the sequel just the movie again?
Right.
Oh, that would be funny. Right. Like if they say it's Live, Die, Repeat #2 and they just released the original movie.
They just remastered or something.
No, just release it again because it's just Live, Die, Repeat.
Right.
That would be funny. I can see like a
Groundhog Day 2.
I can see like a small theater that doesn't do like an old rundown theater that doesn't do much business, just doing that, kind of release it like a dollar theater kind of thing.
Right. I could see that for Groundhog's Day 2 as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just one theater plays it all day.
Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
So yeah, that was top shelf for the show. We'll go ahead and finish our drink. We haven't finished it, but we'll go ahead and do our final ratings. Remember, we rate everything by quarter. Since I'm doing the segment, I will just start it. I'm going to give it a 4.25. Like I said, it's not overly done with the cinnamon, which I really like because I'm not a huge fan of cinnamon. It's crisp, it's refreshing. You could drink this cold. If you wanted to, you could probably warm it up and drink it that with a cinnamon stick. Like it's fantastic.
I'm right there with you. I'm a 4.25 as well. I think the only reason it's not higher because I don't think you could do much more to this. Not to make it 5. I want something more from it, but like for what it is, it's the best it can go. The only way maybe is to make it warm. I think you could crack this off the shelf. Like if it wasn't even in the cooler, I think lukewarm, it would taste good. I think warming it up slowly, you would have to do it slowly because you don't want to cook it, right? Like
you don't want to burn off the alcohol.
Yeah. So it's warming up very slowly. I don't think you need to put the cinnamon stick. I think it's the perfect amount of cinnamon. I like the light touch. I like the light touch across the board. It's a little bit dry. It's a little bit sweet. It's just a little bit cinnamon, and it's just apples. Apples and the purity of an apple cider. So yeah, 4.25, maybe warm. I'd bump it to 4.5, but
yeah,
A is a solid A.
It is absolutely a great drink. I could see drinking a lot of this. I'm going to go with 4, maybe a little less, maybe just to be different, really. but it's a great drink. I would drink this. I would drink several of these. I would drink this on a hot day, cold. I would drink this on a cold day, hot. I assume I haven't actually had this hot, but this it's a great drink. It's perfectly balanced with the cinnamon. It's of the apple ciders that I've had. This is up there.
This one now being number 3 or number 4 on the show from the Odd Brothers Craft Cider, and all they do is cider, makes me even more say that 2025. I think the Buds needs to reach out and see if we can do a live event there because they have hit home run after home run on these ciders.
Yes, I feel like that's probably the next step for you for the show with Odd Brothers. Just like you said, just reach out and let them know, hey, we love your product. Can we at least come up and do a live show?
All right. Speaking of live shows, we have them occasionally here at this fantastic place, also in Michigan. Maybe you could get some cans from them because they do buy locally sourced craft beer and cider cans at Niles Brewing Company, right up in Niles, Michigan.
Do you want to find a hidden gem in the Midwest craft beer scene? If so, your search is over. The Niles Brewing Company is a nano brewery that produces some of the finest craft beer in the Midwest, with several award-winning brews and more to come, thanks to the expertise of master brewer Brandon Townsley. Be sure to check Facebook and Instagram for updates on upcoming events. On Sundays, you can enjoy a delectable brunch collaborated with Jim's Smokin' Cafe from noon to 2 p.m., accompanied by Mimosa and Bloody Mary flight specials all day long. The brewery is located in Niles, Michigan, which features a social district downtown where patrons can enjoy their drinks outside on the sidewalk of Niles. For those seeking exceptional food, outstanding beers, and events that offer great company and entertainment, Niles Brewing Company is located at 206 East Main Street, Niles, Michigan, 49120. It is the ideal destination.
Oh, welcome back. Oh, welcome back. I'm here with Jason and Two Tones. I'm back. Yep. There we go. We're back.
He's back.
All right. So let's get into the third beer, the final beer. We got ice cream sandwiches in space from Abomination Brewing Company, an IPA Imperial Double Milkshake, 9.1% ABV, no listed IBVs. There has been 1,400 check-ins for an average score of 4.02 and one friend check-in of 4.2 from Justin E. from E Brewing Company in Warsaw. Free plug for you guys. Go down there. He's got a brewing company. I think it's good. We haven't been invited yet, so maybe I shouldn't plug him. This Abomination Brewing Company is a microbrewery out of North Haven, Connecticut. That's about 0.5 miles away from where my wife grew up. We got the style guy saying it should be rich in flavor, smooth in flavor, chocolate in flavor, heavy in flavor, and sweetener. So is that supposed to taste sweet but artificially? I don't know. That's what it's supposed to taste like. You can find this, guys, at the Hop Station. It says right here on my app. They're carrying it right now. All right, let's get our first sips and smells.
It smells. I do kind of get a hint of chocolate when I smell it. It's like a chocolate hop.
You know what? Now that you say the aromatic of the hop with a little bit of a chocolate, I do get it.
Yes.
You get the hop.
Oh, I get the hop, but I get the once the aroma of the piney, hop is gone, I smell a little bit of like a semi-sweet chocolate.
This is different than any IPA or double IPA I have.
All right. I'm happy.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just happy that it's double. I'm usually a single IPA. You're gonna roll out D100. Only 20 out of 100 I will like. Doubles though is like 80 out of 100 I like because it's usually smoother.
Right.
So let's go.
The color it's got a nice hazy, darker color, so you can tell that there is kind of, I would say, chocolate is what makes the hazy a little bit darker. I did take a sip, and you can definitely taste the chocolate in there. Like, this is great.
I agree. I can taste. It is smooth. It's got just a tiny bit of a hop tickle, a pine tickle, as we used to say, and then I get the vanilla creaminess. I get the little bit of the chocolate, and Jason's gonna be bewildered here because I actually get a little bit of the strawberry from the Neapolitan. I do, and you know what it tastes like? It doesn't taste like strawberry, like the fruit.
No, it doesn't.
It tastes like strawberry milk, which has got that beet. You know that if you look at strawberry milk, one of the ingredients is beet juice.
Okay,
it's got that kind of tang that gives it its color.
Oh,
so yes, I get artificial strawberry flavoring with this.
I guess if I close my eyes and listen to my senses, I get a little bit, I guess, of the Neapolitan. So I do get the vanilla chocolate, and I do actually get a little bit of strawberry. But you kind of have to be thinking about how a strawberry tastes in order to get it.
I get it more after I've drank it all, and just breathe in heavily through your mouth. You're gonna taste it more. You'll get the Neapolitan sandwich more.
The chocolate is definitely up front, I think, for me.
Oh yeah, but it's so light.
No, it's not overpowering light. I am shocked that this is a double IPA and not like a stout or something. I would have went with this milkshake style with something a little heavier. Like
which is why I selected it. I was like, wait a second. It's an IPA of any version, and it's supposed to have chocolate in it. That's wild.
Yeah, Bruce, you were on Bruce. Yeah, you called me and you asked me if I would like this one, or there was another one we had options for, and I was like, well, it's a double IPA that has chocolate. We have to try it.
Yeah, just weird enough. We don't shy away from things. If it's grass fed, we'll try it and puke.
I love the weird. Give me the weird.
Give me the weird. All right, so speaking of weird, let's see what people's confessions are in Fesshole, our next segment.
This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah.
This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah.
This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah.
This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah. This is Fesshole, yeah.
Fesshole, Brian. Not Brian today. It's with Bruce. Welcome to Fesshole, where people went to Twitter and or the X handle of Fesshole and confess to something anonymously, and we read it out loud for everyone to hear and either make fun of them, agree with them, or what have you. And so let's start off with a banger. Can we confess about our worst dates on here? Anyway, here it goes. As a waitress was pouring wine into our glasses, the guy rather unashamedly asked me if I'd like to eat bananas out of his butt. The girl, that waitress, absolutely hero, helped me quietly get out of there so fast. Have you, said anything weird on a date or to your server like that before?
I have played some weird music before on a first date. It probably wasn't appropriate music, but I have done something like that. It only lasted one day.
Did the server help you get out?
No, it was in my truck. We drove like 30 minutes to a movie theater, so I had plenty of time to. I was like, I'll show her what kind of music I like, and maybe she'll vibe with it. She did not.
Was this someone's first date?
That's what it says.
Oh my god!
This was the first date. I also took her to see Interstellar, and she was kind of ditzy. She didn't get that either. She didn't get that either. So it was a no go. It was a no show from the joke.
No show of tones. All right, our next one is my girlfriend has two brothers who are both carpenters. They fitted our kitchen and boasted the family and friends how good of a fucking job they did. The truth is, after they were done, I'd hired a different carpenter to come in and fix all their mistakes. Sorry, guys, you suck. So, do you ever hide your brother-in-law, sister-in-law's mistakes in your real life? Is that something you understand?
I mean, I guess I would do that. I haven't actually had anything that I've had a relative work on my house that I
have a brother-in-law who's a plumber, and he only does a good job. And safe for him, I wouldn't know if he did a bad job because I am not handy in that kind of aspect at all.
Yeah, I'm not good with my hands, so I don't hide anybody's work, and I don't hide my work either. So if it looks bad, it looks bad. I'm like, yeah, I did it. I don't know. I'm not handy, but I would not hide someone's work. I don't want to pay to have it covered up.
This next one is from a young lady. As a short and slightly overweight female, I thought about my newfound love for hiking would give me an amazing body. Now I have legs of steel and a barrel for a body. I guess I gotta find something else to do.
Okay.
Well, if your plan was just to work out one part of your, I guess her legs got really good from the hiking, and her endurance got better, right? And but that's all you were working out. You weren't you weren't doing anything above the waist.
I mean, there's people that you're probably working out your booty. There's people that would probably appreciate that.
Yeah. But she said she's got a top half as a barrel now, and then lift legs.
Sure. I mean, she's got to find something else, I guess.
Yeah, my imagination went to like a keg, like a silver keg that had some Disney magic and it popped out legs, and Stanley just started walking around. I don't know where my head's at today, guys.
I mean, kudos for her. She's at least done something to better at least half of herself.
It's more than what I'm doing. It's definitely more than what I'm doing. So you can't fault that.
All right, our last one for the day. My ophthalmologist, I think that's an eye doctor, is fucking real hot. So I got excited when she asked if I was doing anything this weekend. I replied, nothing I can't cancel, with a chinky wink.
Mm-hmm.
He said, she said, sorry. I just wanted to know because you're likely needing to be wearing your lenses this week.
Ouch. Ouch.
Have you embarrassed yourself when you thought somebody was flirting with you and they actually were not?
I'm sure I have. Nothing that sticks out in my mind. I'm sure I absolutely have made a fool of myself.
Right. Nothing I've been called out on. Not like this guy.
So that's Fesshole for this time on Drunk with Buds podcast. We're still drinking this, and I've been talking, so I didn't drink a lot. But so everyone else go first what they thought, because I want to drink more.
Go ahead, Jason. I'll let you go first this time.
All right. So I love the can art. Can art is awesome. I'm going to give it. I'm going to bump up the score just for the can art. This is something that I did not expect at all. A milkshake style, I would expect a stout, maybe a lager, but definitely a stout. I would expect. I would not expect a milkshake style from an IPA or a double IPA. So this caught me off guard. It is definitely not a flavor that I anticipated. I do kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's I'm not really getting the strawberry, which which is crazy because before I could taste the strawberry on the previous beer, and this one I can't. I am getting the chocolate and the vanilla, maybe a hint of strawberry. But I would probably drink this again. Not a lot. I wouldn't have more than one at a time. But I'm going to go with the 3.75 on this.
Nice. All right. First off, the can art. Can art is fantastic. Like I was telling the guys earlier, I have a fascination with skull art, and especially if it's done right. Looking at this can art a little bit more, it kind of gives me like Star Wars, like X-Wing fighter vibes with the jumpsuit.
Yeah.
I didn't know this until Bruce pointed out that he is actually holding a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, which is really cool. I don't know what I thought it was at first, but now I can see it. I like the can art, like actually ice cream is in like a pinkish color, sandwich is in white, and then in space is in brown. So it does like it plays to that theme of being the Neapolitan everywhere on this can. The beer itself, it's hazy, but it kind of has like a darker haziness to it. So you can actually, like, if you look at it, okay, I can tell there might be something in it, which is the chocolate. It's exactly what I thought it would taste like, but I wasn't expecting it to taste like this because a lot of beers claim to have cacao nibs or, something like a milkshake-esque to it, but they don't deliver. This one actually really does deliver. You get the chocolate right up front. It's smooth, which is most likely the vanilla that they have in there. Like Bruce said, if you just wait a little bit and breathe in, you kind of get some strawberry to it also. Like this whole drink is great. I'm going to say I could probably drink this at least a few times a day. So I am going to give it a 5.
5-star banger.
This is great. If I ever see this anywhere, I'm not going to forget the can art. I'm definitely going to buy this anytime I see it. So,
well, next time you're back in the Midwest, you can go to Hop Station and pick it up.
Connecticut might be closer to me to actually go.
Actually, I've made that trip a few times because my mother-in-law lives in North Carolina, and it's exactly the same distance in time.
Oh, so 13 hours?
Yep, 12 to 13 hours depending on traffic.
Well, I've never been to Connecticut, so that might be the next move.
Oh, there you go. All right, so I'm going to give this. Well, let me talk about it first. I didn't know what to expect. I saw IPA. I saw ice cream sandwiches, chocolate in an IPA. I was like, what's going on here? So I guess my thoughts were low. I thought this was going to be one of the ones that would be fun to talk about because it was fucking terrible. But it had a high rating, but like sometimes people just give high ratings to things because they just love a certain style and they just stick with it, just give a high rating. I think it deserves it. It's a double, so it's very smooth. They added lactose that helps to it. If you look in the can, they didn't say it in the style guide, but it does say it has lactose in there. Yeah, I definitely get a little bit of the imitation strawberry flavor, not like real strawberry flavor. Like it's the strawberry flavor I feel like when you get a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich. Like from, I don't know what the off-brand ones that we get here at, in our grocery stores around here, but we get them all the time because I like the Neapolitan ice cream sandwiches more than a regular ice cream sandwich.
Okay, I can see that.
And I taste a little bit of vanilla. I definitely get the hints of chocolate. I'm glad it's not strong. I think this would fail if the chocolate was stronger.
Yeah,
I think the hints across the board. So it's still that IPA. It didn't lose that. It still got a little bit of a pine tickle, the aromatics, the pininess of the hops that you have on there. But it's got this like pleasantly surprise. And then, like I said, I'm going to give it more points because of the can art. I am a fan of can art. I will give points for it. So I thought this was a 4, and I'm giving it a 4.5 because of the can art. I think this is firmly an A, almost an A+. I would pick this up again. I don't normally would just say like I casually would just drink, an IPA. Even the ones I love, I'd be like Greed. We talk about it on the show all the time. Greed is a fabulous honey-based double IPA. It's fantastic. And it's from fucking Anchorage, Alaska. So like, so it's got
that's one of my favorites.
But I'm not an IPA drinker, so I wouldn't just sit there and go like, have it in my fridge. If it was in my fridge, it's because I want to impress somebody. Like, look, I got a beer from Alaska and it's fucking fabulous. Not for me to drink, once a week or twice a week, like just having it. I think I would put this in my fridge for grab once or twice a week kind of thing. If I'm playing darts with Tones or anything, on the grand board, I would be drinking something like this. I think this would enter my everyday rotation. Like I'm drinking, I would grab it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's saying something. Like I'm not the IPA guy, and I'm here for it. I think it's a good balance all the way. I think it doesn't take away like from the people who like IPAs, who just like IPAs for IPA-ness,
right?
Would not be deterred with the funniness of this one. Like
right.
I think it's a light brushstroke, which I think is why it's good.
Yeah. I feel like if you don't like this one, you probably just don't like chocolate, I think. Like any IPA drinker, I think, would at least find it intriguing enough to try it and to give it a decent score. But I think if there's anybody that doesn't like it, I think they just don't like chocolate in general because.
Yeah. And I think, to me, it has a little bit of nostalgia because I feel like I taste those old-fashioned ice cream sandwiches in it. I think it hit the nail on the head of what it actually is.
Right. And I feel like I need to put a disclaimer on my 3.75
That's a B+, buddy.
It is a B+. I'm not normally a fan of IPAs.
I hate them for the most part.
Right. This is good. So for me, a 3.75 on a double IPA is actually a pretty good score.
Well, yeah, you gave it a B+.
Right. Ice cream sandwiches in space. Great beer. Great beer.
But yeah, Bruce, you gave us a 4.5.
I gave it a 4.5. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I put that correct in the notes. But yeah, I mean, so what? That's the show. Are we gonna do the? Also, as Bruce says, be sure to check out the UPS store on State Road 23 in Ironwood for printing, copying, shipping, notary, and Amazon drop-offs. They're good friends of the pod, and they help us out a lot. They will help you out. That's State Road. That's UPS on State Road 23 in Ironwood in South Bend, Indiana. Let's go ahead and shout out our premium
subscribers.
So you had premium sponsors.
Jason,
premium
do you know what a premium subscriber for our show, what that entails?
I do not.
Okay, well, have you gone to the bar of a friend before?
Absolutely.
Have you bought them a beer?
I have.
And do beers usually run between like $3 to $8?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can help the show do exactly that. Once a month, you can buy the show a beer. The money from this goes to buying the beers that go on the show. All you got to do is click the link in our show notes and go in there and just say that you want to give $5 a month or more. Some of our guys do more. Our ladies do more. And each month we'll give you a shout out. If you make it 12 months in a row, you'll get that year's only shirt for people who are premium subscribers. So like last year we had that shirt that will never be done again. It's only for the ones who made it 12 months in 2024. And then we'll have a 2025 shirt in 2026, and you'll get that. And you'll also get thanks every episode, at least once or twice a month. and we don't have enough that we have to do it. So you just get one every time we have an episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
So who are these people, my friend?
We have the great one, Vic. I'm not talking to him because he beat me in fantasy football.
Sylvia Town.
we have a friend that I graduated with, Matt Snyder.
The Snyder Man.
We have the Snyder Man. We have Sylvia Town. And then we have Skylar.
All right, here's the top 15 cities that have downloaded our last episode. Chicago, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Frankfurt, Maine, Hesse, Germany, Knox, Indiana, Mishawaka, Indiana, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, Houston, Texas, Buffalo, New York, Southampton, England, Tisbisley, some country, I don't know, Dublin, Leicester, Ireland, Los Angeles, California, South Bend, Indiana, Granger, Indiana, Moore Park, California, Rocky River, Ohio, Springfield, Missouri, Charlotte, North Carolina, Fraser, Colorado, Suffolk, Virginia, Sun Valley, California, Shirley, New York, Bayonne, New Jersey, Despar, Bali, the island of Bali, 3 episodes, Matthews, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, Riverside, California, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, Ain City, Abu Dhabi, Westlake, Ohio, Bonha, Barihayat, Dawawa, some country I don't know, Nashville, Tennessee, Seattle, Washington, Hudson, New York, Newtingen, Baden-Baden, Wettenberg, Germany, Lidesgård, Vastra, Gotland Country, Sweden, Tallinn, I think that's Estonia, Avon Lake, Ohio, Wiesbach, Bavaria, Germany, Gior Monsonpron, don't know, Lisbeth, Saxony, Germany, Westerbacan, Kent, England, Paris, France, Denver, Colorado, and finally Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Can I say, I love that it's more and more throughout the world.
Absolutely.
Or download it. But I miss the days when you could just run through them because they were all just Indiana based. It was just basically Plymouth, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, Bremen, Indiana. It was just straight, and you were real quick. And now you have to actually think. So
all of our countries,
I do appreciate the other countries, and I think it's funny that you have to pronounce all that.
All of our countries are U.S., Germany, Australia, England, Georgia, not the state, Ireland, Indonesia, UAE, Japan, Qatar, Sweden, Estonia, Hungary, France, Ukraine, Canada, and Belgium. This last episode,
and I doubt between the 4 of us that we know anybody in all of those countries. So,
like a person, no, but I know where all of them are because I'm good at geography.
But I'm just saying, like, that's awesome that whoever is in that area, unless they're trying to listen to steal our information.
All right, guys, it's the end of the episode. I know we're all sad. We wish we had more of a lot of these beers, but if we had the ability to have one of these beers one more time, it's last call. Which beer are you ending your night with? You're at the bar with your friends. You've been drinking. You're having a good time. You're going to take an Uber home because we don't drink and drive. What beer, not necessarily be your favorite beer, what beer ends your night the best? Jason.
Odd Brothers Craft Cider.
Why?
I mean, that's the beer that I would probably drink this all night. So this would be the beer. I misspoke. It's not technically a beer. It's a cider, but this is what I'd be drinking all night long.
I mean, I can't fault you for the choice. I don't think any beer today I would have to argue against.
There is no wrong answer today, for sure.
How about you, Two Tones? What are you ending your night with?
Ice cream sandwiches in space, 100%.
I'm there with you. Unless something is so blows me, my shoes off my feet kind of like taste, I usually, as long as the most heaviest hitter is a good tasting one, I like ending my night with another hard ABV. Go big or go home kind of situation.
Yeah.
So the 9% on the double IPA is because it was so good. That's what I would want to finish with. I liked all of them, but if I'm going to end my night, let's go because it's the last drink, right? So,
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, regardless of that, like the 9.1%, like the beer in itself is fantastic. Like I said, I could see myself having at least one every day if I had the means. But
I do.
Well, I do if I go to fucking North Haven, Connecticut.
Or you can come home.
Same. But like I said, I've never been to Connecticut, so
there you go. There you go. All right, guys. So that's it for the episode. Jason, thank you for joining us. I know
Glad
that
to be here.
it's a pleasant treat for you.
It is. I love trying different things. One of my favorite things in the world is to try a beer I have never had. And it's always an opportunity when I come here to try something that I've never even heard of, much less never had.
Yeah, I do remember it's still in the catacombs of my brain when you tried like the hotel water. We bring it up all the time. You're like, cucumber.
I know. It blew my mind. That was a good beer.
Yeah, thanks, Jason, for joining us.
Awesome.
I'm
Thanks
glad that you were able to have some beers that you thought you would never have or like, and now you liked all of them in different degrees.
It was a great day. I mean, there wasn't a miss the whole time. Every beer.
Yeah.
And Two Tones, thanks for joining us. I appreciate your call from North Carolina, Wilmington now,
Sure.
not Southport anymore.
No, Southport, Wilmington, and I'm right by the airport. So if you guys ever fly to Wilmington, you need a ride, I'm right here.
The only thing I want to promote, I mean, I got social medias, but you're already following me. You're not a new listener. It's fine. I want to promote our up and coming new sponsor, the Vinyl Tap and Table in Mishawaka, Indiana, will be our new sponsor going forward. They have excellent burgers and fries. They have a bar right there. They have lots of good drinks on thing, especially they also have Revolution, which is friends of the show. Go to see them, everybody.
Bruce, I know since I used to live there, Mishawaka area, and people who are listening, if they are listening, that know Mishawaka area, where exactly is it at in downtown Mishawaka?
Right. Well, the Vinyl Tap is right next to the Phoenix. It's just around the corner. If you know where the Phoenix is, it's right by the very ancient First Source Bank on the same corner area in Mishawaka, just south of Lincoln Way on the Main Street, not Church Street, but Main Street. If you're in the Doc Pierce's area, you are within sight distance of this place. They lean into good vinyl LPs, music. Okay. They have an excellent mural of like LP artists on their wall. They specialize in burgers and fries. And of course, they are also a bar, but it's family friendly. You can go in with your kids and still drink. I want to thank you both. Jason, thanks for joining us for the third time, I think. Once by yourself, once with us at Christmas, and now?
I think this might be 4, actually.
Maybe 4.
Yeah, at Hop Station.
Well, I already mentioned that, but yeah, okay. And then Two Tones, you've been on here more often than I really like to say. From a guest to a host to a part-time host. We love you. I'm just joking.
And I'm just here whenever you guys want an opinion from North Carolina resident.
All right, so we're going to end the night, as we always say, stay sexy, everyone.
Sexy, drink responsibly, and stay sexy.
That's right.